The court documents revealed some stunning new details in the case against Heuermann. To help break it all down, we're joined now by Bobby Chacon, a criminal profiler who spent 27 years as a lead investigator with the FBI. Bobby, this new DNA testing on that strand of hair helped finally crack the Brainerd Barnes murder case. Can that same testing be used for other aspects of this investigation?
Well, sure it can, depending on the condition of the evidence. You know, this evidence was seized a long time ago. It was out in the elements. So it depends on the condition of the evidence that they have, but they've already used it in this case, which was, I think, one of the first victims to be left or to be disposed of there. So I have some hope that the condition of the evidence that they have back from in 2010, 2011, when it was recovered, is in a condition good enough that this new technology can be deployed, and as we saw in the case of Brainerd Barnes, definitively tied that hair back to Heuermann's wife.
You know, it's interesting that there have been several hairs found on the four victims here. Several of them were a match to Asa Ellerup, the wife. One of them was a match to the daughter, and one of them appears to be a match to Heuermann himself. Is it unusual? Have you ever seen a case like this where they know that the wife and the daughter were out of town during all four murders, so they've ruled them out? Is it unusual to have a case where you're saying it's him, not because we found evidence from him per se, but we found evidence of his wife? We know that he brought evidence from that house to the murder. You follow what I'm saying?
Well, that's just it. You're exactly right. I mean, that's what happened. These are household items like duct tape, like a roll of duct tape that people leave around their house that other family members may have used and touched. His belt that his wife probably handled at some point in time. So the transfer of DNA, these transfer materials like body hair onto these items is not specifically unusual for household items. It's unusual that a serial killer would use household items, but also that we saw in this treasure trove of new data and new evidence in the court today that they have evidence to say that, you know, these girls all disappeared, these victims all disappeared basically between Memorial Day and Labor Day, summertime, when his family was out. So they matched the family travel records knowing they were out of town. And that gave him an extra level of comfort to either operate around his home or to use household items from his house to help dispose of his victims. So that's a little unusual. It's not unusual that the transfer DNA on things like a belt or things like a roll of duct tape is there. It's unusual that he would have that comfort level to be operating around his own home when he's gathering to dispose of these victims.
In the meantime, there's a 2-year break between the disappearance and murder of Maureen Brainerd Barnes and then Melissa Barthelemy and Megan Waterman and Amber Costello all disappear a year or two later. Do you think he took a 2-year break in killing, or if in fact he's guilty? I mean, is that unusual for a serial killer?
Well, that's an interesting question. So I'm not an FBI profiler, but I work with profilers a lot, every day almost. And we normally see a break or a stop in a couple of situations, like a life event, a move, a divorce, a job change, a death in the family, something like that that spurs either a suspension of his activities or stopping altogether. Like in the Golden State Killer case, D'Angelo simply got too old, I think, and he had to stop his activities. But in certain cases where we've seen a suspension or a delay in that, we've seen a particular life event. I don't see a life event here, so I don't know what the 2-year gap is and why it's there.
Yeah, it'll be interesting as they've now probed, they're continuing to probe the other victims that were found on that beach and other locations where possibly this might have continued. Bobby, great to have your expertise. Thanks so much for joining us. All right, coming up. Thanks so much for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.